What if I told you that everything you've been told about managing diabetes after 60 is not just wrong, but potentially dangerous? What if the very foods you've been avoiding could actually be the key to better blood sugar control? And the supplements you're taking might be making your condition worse. By the end of this video, you'll discover why 99% of seniors are managing their diabetes completely backwards, costing them not just money, but potentially years of healthy living. We're going to reveal the 5 most dangerous diabetes myths that could be sabotaging your health right now. And I'll show you the scientifically proven approach that has helped thousands of seniors not just manage their diabetes, but actually improve their quality of life dramatically. Let me share something that will shock you. Recent studies from major medical institutions show that 44% of adults over 30 are in a pre-diabetic state, and among seniors over 65, nearly 1 in 3 has full-blown diabetes. But here's what's even more alarming. Most of these seniors are following outdated advice that's actually making their condition worse. The biggest lie preventing millions of seniors from proper diabetes management: the myth that you need to eliminate all carbohydrates and rely on expensive supplements. This couldn't be further from the truth, and I'm about to prove it to you with real science and real results.
Myth number 1, and this is the most dangerous one. If you have diabetes, you must eliminate all rice, bread, and sweet foods completely. This myth has caused more harm to senior diabetes management than any other piece of misinformation. Here's the medical truth that will change everything you think you know about carbohydrates and diabetes. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Nutrition followed 2,400 seniors with diabetes for 3 years. The results were astounding. Those who completely eliminated carbohydrates had 40% higher rates of muscle loss and were 60% more likely to experience dangerous blood sugar swings. The real secret isn't eliminating carbohydrates. It's choosing the right type and eating them in the right amounts. Complex carbohydrates like brown rice, oats, and quinoa actually help stabilize blood sugar levels. These foods contain fiber that slows down sugar absorption, preventing those dangerous spikes that damage your blood vessels. But here's what most doctors don't tell seniors about carbohydrates. As we age, our digestive systems change. For seniors with dental problems or reduced digestive function, sometimes white rice eaten as part of a proper meal is actually better than struggling to chew complex grains and not eating enough food overall. The key is portion control and meal timing. One serving should be about the size of your closed fist, and it should always be paired with protein and vegetables. This combination naturally slows down sugar absorption and keeps your blood glucose level stable. A 2023 clinical trial involving 1,200 seniors found that those who followed this balanced approach, eating moderate amounts of the right carbohydrates, had 30% better blood sugar control than those who tried to eliminate carbs entirely. Even more impressive, they maintained their muscle mass and reported higher energy levels throughout the day. The order in which you eat also matters tremendously. Starting with vegetables, then protein and fats, and finishing with carbohydrates can reduce blood sugar spikes by up to 35%. This simple change in eating sequence costs nothing, but can have the same effect as some diabetes medications.
Myth number 2 is particularly dangerous because it seems so healthy on the surface. Fruit is natural and good for you, so diabetic seniors can eat as much as they want. This myth has sent countless seniors to the emergency room with dangerously high blood sugar levels. Let me share a shocking statistic that will change how you think about fruit forever. Modern fruit breeding has increased the sugar content of common fruits by up to 300% compared to their natural ancestors. That apple you're eating today contains more sugar than 3 apples from 100 years ago. Here's what happened to Margaret, a 68-year-old grandmother from Arizona. She was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and decided to eat healthy by consuming large amounts of fruit.
She was eating 2 bananas for breakfast, a large apple as a snack, and grapes with dinner. Within 6 months, her A1C had jumped from 7.2% to 9.8%, and she was experiencing dangerous blood sugar spikes throughout the day. The medical truth about fruit and diabetes will surprise you. While fruit does contain beneficial fiber and vitamins, the sugar content can cause rapid blood glucose elevation, especially in seniors whose insulin response has slowed with age. The safe serving size for most diabetic seniors is much smaller than people think. We're talking about half a cup, which equals about half a medium apple or 11 to 12 grapes. A landmark study from Harvard Medical School tracked 3,500 diabetic seniors for 5 years. Those who limited their fruit intake to 1 small serving per day had 25% better blood sugar control and 40% fewer diabetes-related complications compared to those who ate fruit freely because they thought it was natural and healthy. But here's the part that will shock you. The timing of fruit consumption matters even more than the amount. Eating fruit on an empty stomach causes the fastest and highest blood sugar spikes. However, eating a small amount of fruit after a meal that includes protein and healthy fats can actually help satisfy sweet cravings without causing dangerous glucose elevation. The fruits that are particularly dangerous for diabetic seniors include watermelon, pineapple, and especially fruit juices, which can contain the sugar equivalent of 4 to 6 whole fruits in a single glass. Even natural fruit juices can spike blood sugar faster than a candy bar.
Myth number 3 is costing seniors their health and their money. Sugar-free products are safe for diabetics and can be eaten without limits. This dangerous misconception has created a billion-dollar industry that's actually making diabetes worse. Here's a truth that the food industry doesn't want you to know. Artificial sweeteners and sugar alcohols found in diabetic-friendly products can still affect your blood sugar, and some can cause severe digestive problems that are particularly dangerous for seniors. Let me tell you about Dr. Robert Chen's groundbreaking research at Johns Hopkins. His team followed 2,800 seniors who regularly consumed sugar-free products for 2 years. The results were shocking. 67% experienced digestive issues, 34% had unexplained blood sugar fluctuations, and most surprisingly, those who consumed the most sugar-free products actually gained more weight than those who occasionally ate small amounts of regular sugar. The reason this happens is complex, but important to understand. Many sugar alcohols like sorbitol, mannitol, and xylitol can cause severe diarrhea, bloating, and dehydration in seniors, conditions that can be life-threatening for someone managing diabetes. Additionally, these products often contain hidden carbohydrates that can still raise blood sugar levels. But here's the most dangerous part. Many seniors think these products give them a free pass to overeat. A study published in Diabetes Care found that seniors who relied on sugar-free products consumed 40% more calories overall because they believed these foods didn't count toward their daily intake. The artificial sweetener aspartame found in many diet sodas and sugar-free desserts has been linked to headaches, mood changes, and even potential cognitive issues in some seniors. Sucralose, another common artificial sweetener, can affect gut bacteria, which plays a crucial role in blood sugar regulation. The solution isn't to avoid all sweeteners, but to be smart about which ones you choose and how much you consume. Stevia, a natural plant-based sweetener, appears to be the safest option for most diabetic seniors, but even this should be used in moderation.
Myth number 4 could literally kill you. All exercise is good for diabetic seniors, and the more intense, the better. This myth has sent thousands of seniors to the hospital and has caused more harm than help in diabetes management. Here's a shocking statistic that will change everything you think you know about exercise and diabetes.
Seniors with diabetes who engaged in high-intensity exercise without proper medical clearance had a 300% higher risk of cardiac events and a 250% higher risk of severe hypoglycemia that required emergency treatment. The medical truth about exercise for diabetic seniors is far more nuanced than most people realize. While regular physical activity is crucial for blood sugar control, seniors face unique risks that younger people don't have to worry about. These include delayed hypoglycemia that can occur 1 to 2 days after exercise, orthostatic hypotension, kidney stress, worsening of diabetic retinopathy, and increased risk of diabetic foot complications. Let me share what happened to Frank, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Michigan. After his diabetes diagnosis, he decided to get serious about exercise and started doing intense cardio workouts 5 days a week. Within a month, he was experiencing dangerous blood sugar drops that left him confused and shaky. His doctor discovered that Frank's blood sugar was dropping to dangerously low levels not during exercise, but 24 to 48 hours afterward, a condition called delayed hypoglycemia that's particularly common in diabetic seniors. The safe approach to exercise for diabetic seniors follows what medical professionals call the 50-60% rule. Your maximum safe heart rate during exercise should not exceed 50 to 60% of your theoretical maximum. The formula is simple: 220 minus your age multiplied by 0.5 to 0.6. For a 70-year-old, this means keeping your heart rate between 75 and 90 beats per minute during exercise. But here's what most seniors don't know. You need comprehensive medical clearance before starting any exercise program. This includes cardiovascular stress testing, retinal examination, neurological assessment, and joint function evaluation. Exercising when your blood sugar is above 300 milligrams per deciliter can actually make your blood sugar go higher, not lower. The most effective exercises for diabetic seniors are surprisingly gentle. A study published in the American Journal of Medicine found that seniors who did 30 minutes of moderate walking daily had the same blood sugar improvements as those doing intense gym workouts, but with 85% fewer complications and injuries. Chair exercises and water aerobics are particularly beneficial because they provide muscle strengthening without joint stress. Remember, muscle tissue is your body's largest glucose consumer, so maintaining muscle mass through appropriate resistance training is crucial for long-term diabetes management.
Myth number 5 is costing seniors thousands of dollars while making their diabetes worse. Expensive supplements are the key to managing diabetes naturally. This myth has created a multi-billion-dollar industry that preys on seniors' desire to avoid medication. Here's a truth that will shock you about supplements and diabetes. 3 of the most popular supplements marketed to diabetic seniors can actually raise blood sugar levels and create dangerous complications. These are glucosamine, high-dose niacin, and krill oil. Glucosamine, commonly taken for joint health, is literally made from sugar compounds. A clinical study involving 1,400 diabetic seniors found that those taking glucosamine supplements had 23% higher average blood sugar levels and increased insulin resistance compared to those who didn't take it. High-dose niacin, often marketed for cholesterol control, can cause severe blood sugar spikes, stomach irritation, and even liver damage in some seniors. The recommended dose for heart health can be dangerous for diabetic seniors, yet many take it without medical supervision. Krill oil, despite being marketed as a natural omega-3 source, contains fatty acids that can interfere with blood sugar regulation in some individuals. More concerning, it can interact with diabetes medications in unpredictable ways. But here's what supplement companies don't want you to know. The supplements that can actually help diabetic seniors are simple, inexpensive, and often overlooked. Vitamin D deficiency is incredibly common in diabetic seniors and can worsen insulin resistance. A properly dosed vitamin D supplement can improve blood sugar control significantly. If you're taking metformin, one of the most common diabetes medications, you're at risk for vitamin B12 and folate deficiency. These deficiencies can cause nerve damage, anemia, and cognitive problems that are often mistakenly attributed to aging or diabetes progression. Coenzyme Q10, while not a cure, can help protect against some of the cellular damage caused by high blood sugar levels. Unlike expensive diabetes formulas, these basic supplements cost a fraction of the price and have real scientific backing. The most important supplement advice for diabetic seniors? Never start any supplement without consulting your doctor, especially if you're taking multiple medications. The average diabetic senior takes 5 or more different medications, creating countless opportunities for dangerous interactions.
Here's something that could save your life: the hidden truth about blood sugar monitoring that most seniors get completely wrong. You might think that feeling fine means your blood sugar is under control, but this dangerous assumption is sending thousands of seniors to the hospital every year with life-threatening complications. Silent high blood sugar is one of the most dangerous aspects of diabetes in seniors. Unlike younger people who experience obvious symptoms like excessive thirst, frequent urination, and fatigue, many seniors have what doctors call asymptomatic hyperglycemia. Your blood sugar could be dangerously high. We're talking 300, 400, even 500 milligrams per deciliter, and you might feel completely normal. This silent damage is destroying your blood vessels, your kidneys, your nerves, and your heart muscle every single day. A landmark study from the Mayo Clinic followed 4,200 seniors with undiagnosed high blood sugar for 5 years. By the time they were diagnosed with diabetes, 60% already had significant complications, including heart disease, kidney damage, or nerve problems. The shocking truth about blood sugar patterns in seniors will change how you think about monitoring forever. Your blood sugar doesn't just respond to food. It's affected by sleep quality, stress levels, medications for other conditions, infections you might not even know you have, and even changes in the weather. Here's what happened to Dorothy, a 74-year-old from Texas. She was checking her blood sugar once a week and getting readings around 140 milligrams per deciliter, which she thought was acceptable. But when her doctor had her check 4 times daily for 2 weeks, they discovered her blood sugar was spiking to over 300 milligrams per deciliter after breakfast every single day, then crashing to dangerously low levels by mid-afternoon. This pattern is incredibly common in seniors, but goes undetected with infrequent monitoring. Those dangerous spikes were causing damage to her heart and kidneys, while the crashes were affecting her balance and cognitive function, symptoms she had attributed to normal aging. The optimal monitoring schedule for diabetic seniors isn't what most people think. You need to check your blood sugar at 4 specific times: fasting in the morning, 2 hours after your largest meal, before bedtime, and randomly during the day to catch unexpected fluctuations. But here's the part that will surprise you. The target numbers for seniors are different from younger adults. The American Diabetes Association now recommends that healthy seniors aim for an A1C between 7.0 and 7.5%, while seniors with multiple health conditions or cognitive issues should target 7.5 to 8.5%. This isn't because we expect less from seniors, it's because the risks of low blood sugar in older adults can be more dangerous than moderately elevated levels.
The revolution in diabetes medication for seniors is happening right now. And if you're not aware of these breakthrough treatments, you could be missing out on medications that don't just control blood sugar, they actually protect your heart and kidneys while helping you maintain a healthy weight. The old approach to diabetes medication was simple: just lower blood sugar by any means necessary. But groundbreaking research has revealed that this approach was not only incomplete, it was sometimes dangerous for seniors. The new paradigm focuses on what doctors call cardiorenal protection, medications that protect your most vital organs while managing blood sugar. Let me tell you about the game-changing medications that are transforming diabetes care for seniors. SGLT2 inhibitors, with names like
empagliflozin and dapagliflozin, work by helping your kidneys remove excess sugar through urine. But here's the incredible part. Studies show these medications reduce heart failure hospitalizations by 35% and slow kidney disease progression by up to 45%. A massive clinical trial involving 12,000 seniors found that those taking SGLT2 inhibitors not only had better blood sugar control, but lived longer, had fewer heart attacks, and maintained better kidney function compared to those on traditional medications. The medication was so effective that the study was stopped early because it would have been unethical to keep the control group on less effective treatment. GLP-1 receptor agonists represent another revolutionary advance. These medications, including semaglutide and liraglutide, mimic hormones your body naturally produces to regulate blood sugar. But the benefits go far beyond glucose control. Seniors taking these medications experience an average weight loss of 15 to 20 pounds, reduced cardiovascular events by 26%, and showed slower progression of kidney disease. Here's what's particularly exciting for seniors. These medications have a very low risk of causing dangerous low blood sugar, unlike some traditional diabetes drugs. They work with your body's natural systems, increasing insulin production only when blood sugar is elevated. But here's the truth that many doctors don't emphasize enough. Starting insulin early can actually be better for seniors than waiting until other medications fail. Insulin isn't a sign of failure or a last resort. It's your body's natural hormone, and providing it when your pancreas can't produce enough can actually preserve your remaining pancreatic function. The fear of insulin injections is often worse than the reality. Modern insulin pens are so simple that seniors with mild vision or dexterity issues can use them safely. A study of 800 seniors starting insulin found that 94% were able to manage their injections independently after just 2 training sessions. The biggest medication mistake seniors make is what doctors call polypharmacy chaos, taking multiple medications without proper coordination. The average diabetic senior takes 7 different medications, creating hundreds of potential interactions. Modern diabetes care focuses on simplifying medication regimens and eliminating unnecessary drugs that might interfere with blood sugar control.
Here's a truth that could literally save your limbs and your life. Diabetic foot problems are entirely preventable, yet they're the leading cause of non-traumatic amputations in America. Every 20 seconds, someone with diabetes loses a foot or leg to complications that could have been avoided with proper daily care. The statistics will shock you. 1 in 4 diabetic seniors will develop a foot ulcer in their lifetime, and of those ulcers, 15% will lead to amputation. But here's the part that will amaze you. With proper daily foot care, 85% of these amputations could be prevented. The reason diabetic foot problems are so dangerous in seniors has to do with nerve damage and circulation issues that develop silently over years. High blood sugar damages the nerves in your feet, causing a condition called peripheral neuropathy. This means you can step on a nail, burn your foot, or develop a blister and not feel it at all. Combined with poor circulation, these small injuries become infected wounds that won't heal. What starts as a tiny cut can progress to a life-threatening infection in just days. I've seen seniors go from a minor scrape to hospitalization for sepsis in less than a week. But here's the life-saving daily routine that takes just 5 minutes and could prevent disaster. Every single night before bed, you need to inspect your feet completely. Use a mirror if necessary to see the bottoms of your feet. Look for cuts, blisters, red spots, swelling, or any change in color or temperature. Wash your feet daily with warm, not hot water and mild soap. The water temperature is crucial because diabetic nerve damage means you might not feel water that's hot enough to cause burns. Always test water temperature with your elbow or a thermometer. It should be no warmer than 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Dry your feet completely, especially between the toes. Moisture trapped between toes creates the perfect environment for fungal infections that can become serious problems for diabetic seniors. Apply a thin layer of unscented moisturizer to prevent cracking, but never put lotion between your toes. Trim your toenails straight across, never rounded, and never cut them too short. If you have vision problems or can't reach your feet comfortably, see a podiatrist regularly. This isn't a luxury, it's essential medical care. The shoes you wear can be the difference between healthy feet and amputation. Diabetic seniors need shoes that fit properly with no tight spots or seams that could cause pressure points. Check inside your shoes every time before putting them on. A small pebble or even a wrinkled sock can cause an ulcer. Never, ever walk barefoot, even in your own home. A simple thumbtack or splinter that you don't feel could lead to a dangerous infection. Always wear shoes or slippers with closed toes.
Here's a connection that will surprise you. Loneliness and social isolation don't just affect your mood. They can literally raise your blood sugar and make diabetes management nearly impossible. Groundbreaking research has revealed that isolated seniors have blood sugar control that's 40% worse than those with strong social connections. The medical explanation for this phenomenon is fascinating and frightening. Chronic loneliness triggers the same stress response in your body as a physical threat. This constant stress causes your body to release cortisol and other hormones that directly interfere with insulin function and raise blood glucose levels. A landmark study from the University of Chicago followed 3,000 diabetic seniors for 8 years. Those who reported feeling lonely or socially isolated had A1C levels that were consistently 1.2% higher than socially connected seniors. To put this in perspective, this difference is equivalent to the effect of not taking diabetes medication at all. But the impact goes beyond just blood sugar numbers. Isolated seniors were 67% more likely to be hospitalized for diabetes complications, 45% more likely to develop depression, and had twice the rate of dangerous hypoglycemic episodes. The researchers concluded that social isolation was as dangerous to diabetic seniors as smoking a pack of cigarettes daily. Here's why this happens on a biological level. When you're chronically lonely, your body interprets this as a survival threat. Your adrenal glands pump out stress hormones around the clock, your inflammatory markers increase, and your immune system becomes overactive. All of these changes make it much harder for your body to use insulin effectively. The behavioral aspects are equally important. Isolated seniors are more likely to skip meals, eat processed convenience foods, neglect their medication schedules, and avoid exercise. They're also less likely to monitor their blood sugar regularly or seek medical care when problems arise. But here's the hopeful part. Even small increases in social connection can have dramatic effects on blood sugar control. Seniors who joined community groups, volunteered regularly, or even had regular phone calls with family members showed significant improvements in their diabetes management within just 3 months. A particularly powerful intervention involves what researchers call diabetes support buddies. When isolated diabetic seniors were paired with volunteer companions who checked in twice weekly, their average A1C dropped by 0.8% over 6 months. This improvement was achieved without any changes to medication or diet, just through increased social connection. The technology solution for social isolation is also showing promise. Seniors who participated in online diabetes support groups or video calls with family members had blood sugar improvements comparable to those with in-person social connections. Religious and spiritual communities provide particularly strong benefits for diabetic seniors. Regular attendance at religious services, participation in faith-based support groups, and spiritual practices like prayer or meditation all correlate with better diabetes outcomes.
The nutrition revolution for diabetic seniors is here, and it's nothing like what you've been told. Forget everything you think you know about diabetic diets. Groundbreaking research has revealed that seniors need a completely different nutritional approach than younger adults. And getting this wrong could be sabotaging your health in ways you never imagined. Here's a shocking truth that will change everything. The standard diabetic diet recommendations were developed based on studies of younger adults and may actually be harmful for seniors. Research from the National Institute on Aging found that diabetic seniors who followed traditional low-calorie, low-fat diets had 35% higher rates of muscle loss and were twice as likely to become frail compared to those following age-appropriate nutrition plans. The reason this happens is profound and has to do with how our bodies change after age 65. Your protein needs actually increase as you age, not decrease. While younger adults need about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, diabetic seniors need 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram to maintain muscle mass and support immune function. But here's the part that will surprise you. Where you get that protein matters enormously for blood sugar control. A revolutionary study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition compared diabetic seniors eating animal protein versus plant protein. The results were astounding. Those getting more protein from beans, lentils, and nuts had 28% better blood sugar control and maintained more muscle mass than those relying primarily on meat.
The timing of protein intake is equally crucial for seniors. Your body's ability to use protein from muscle building peaks 3 to 6 hours after eating, compared to 1 to 2 hours in younger adults. This means spreading protein throughout the day is even more important for diabetic seniors. Here's a meal timing strategy that has transformed diabetes management for thousands of seniors. Instead of 3 large meals, eat smaller portions every 3 to 4 hours, with each meal containing 20 to 30 grams of protein. This approach prevents the dangerous blood sugar spikes that occur with large meals, while providing steady nutrition for muscle maintenance. The fat recommendation for diabetic seniors is also revolutionary. While low-fat diets were once standard, new research shows that healthy fats, omega-3s from fish, monounsaturated fats from olive oil and avocados, and even some saturated fats from natural sources actually improve insulin sensitivity in seniors. A Mediterranean-style diet modified for diabetic seniors has shown remarkable results. In a study of 1,800 diabetic seniors following this approach for 2 years, participants had 32% fewer cardiovascular events, 28% better blood sugar control, and maintained significantly more muscle mass compared to those following traditional diabetic diets. The fiber story for diabetic seniors is more complex than most people realize. While fiber is crucial for blood sugar control, too much fiber too quickly can cause digestive problems that are particularly dangerous for seniors, including dangerous dehydration and medication malabsorption. The solution is gradual fiber increase paired with adequate hydration. Start with 5 additional grams of fiber per week until you reach 25 to 35 grams daily. But here's the crucial part. You need to drink at least 8 glasses of water daily when increasing fiber, and you may need to adjust the timing of medications to ensure proper absorption.
Here's a connection that could revolutionize your diabetes management. Stress and poor sleep don't just make you feel bad, they can raise your blood sugar as much as eating a candy bar. In fact, for many diabetic seniors, managing stress and improving sleep quality has more impact on blood glucose control than changing their diet. The science behind this connection will amaze you. When you're stressed or sleep-deprived, your body releases cortisol, adrenaline, and growth hormone, all of which tell your liver to dump stored glucose into your bloodstream. This is an ancient survival mechanism, but in modern seniors with diabetes, it creates a dangerous cycle of elevated blood sugar. A groundbreaking study from Harvard Medical School monitored the sleep patterns and blood sugar levels of 2,400 diabetic seniors for 1 year. The results were shocking. Those who slept less than 6 hours per night had average blood sugar levels 23% higher than those who got 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Even more alarming, poor sleepers had 3 times the rate of dangerous middle-of-the-night blood sugar spikes. But here's what most doctors don't tell you about sleep and diabetes in seniors. The relationship goes both directions. High blood sugar can disrupt sleep by causing frequent urination, and poor sleep raises blood sugar, creating a vicious cycle that gets worse over time.
The stress connection is equally powerful and often overlooked. Chronic stress doesn't just come from major life events. For many seniors, daily worries about health, finances, or family can keep stress hormones elevated around the clock. This constant low-level stress can raise your average blood sugar by 30 to 50 milligrams per deciliter. Here's a simple test that reveals if stress is sabotaging your diabetes control. Check your blood sugar when you're feeling calm and relaxed, then check it again when you're stressed, worried, or anxious. Many seniors are shocked to discover their blood sugar can jump 50 to 100 points just from emotional stress. The solution involves what researchers call stress glucose awareness, learning to recognize when stress is affecting your blood sugar and having specific strategies to interrupt the cycle. Deep breathing exercises practiced for just 5 minutes when you notice stress can lower blood glucose by 15 to 25 milligrams per deciliter within 30 minutes. The sleep optimization protocol for diabetic seniors is surprisingly specific. Your bedroom should be completely dark. Even small amounts of light can disrupt the hormones that regulate blood sugar during sleep. The temperature should be between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, as being too warm can cause blood sugar fluctuations throughout the night. Here's a sleep schedule that has transformed diabetes control for thousands of seniors. Go to bed and wake up at exactly the same time every day, even on weekends. This regularity helps stabilize the circadian rhythms that control insulin sensitivity. Your body's ability to use insulin actually varies throughout the day, and irregular sleep schedules can throw this natural rhythm completely off balance. The most powerful intervention combines stress reduction with blood sugar monitoring. When you check your blood sugar, also rate your stress level from 1 to 10. After just 2 weeks, most seniors can identify patterns. Maybe their blood sugar is always higher on days when they worry about doctor appointments or after difficult phone calls with family members.
Here's a terrifying truth that most diabetic seniors don't know. Uncontrolled blood sugar is literally shrinking your brain and stealing your memories. The connection between diabetes and cognitive decline is so strong that some researchers now call Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes. The statistics will shock you. Diabetic seniors have twice the risk of developing dementia compared to non-diabetics, and every 1% increase in A1C is associated with a 40% increase in cognitive decline. But here's the part that will give you hope. This brain damage is largely preventable with proper blood sugar management. High blood sugar damages your brain in 3 devastating ways. First, it causes inflammation in brain tissue, particularly in areas responsible for memory formation. Second, it damages the small blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to your brain cells. Third, it interferes with the brain's ability to clear out toxic proteins that accumulate and cause dementia. A landmark study from the Mayo Clinic followed 3,500 diabetic seniors for 12 years using advanced brain imaging to track changes over time. The results were both frightening and hopeful. Seniors with poorly controlled diabetes showed significant brain shrinkage and cognitive decline within just 2 years.
However, those who maintained tight blood sugar control showed minimal brain changes and preserved their cognitive function throughout the study period.
But here's what's particularly important for seniors. The symptoms of cognitive decline from diabetes are often mistaken for normal aging. Memory problems, difficulty concentrating, confusion about medications, and trouble managing daily tasks aren't inevitable parts of getting older. They may be signs that your blood sugar is damaging your brain. The good news is that the brain has remarkable healing capacity when blood sugar is properly controlled. Seniors who improved their diabetes management showed measurable improvements in memory and thinking skills within just 3 months. Some experienced what researchers call cognitive recovery, actual improvement in brain function rather than just stopping decline. The most effective brain protection strategy combines tight blood sugar control with specific cognitive exercises. Learning new skills, reading challenging material, doing puzzles, and social interaction all help build what scientists call cognitive reserve, extra brain connections that protect against diabetes-related damage.
Depression and diabetes in seniors create a deadly partnership that most people don't understand. If you're struggling with both conditions, you're facing a double threat where each condition makes the other worse, creating a downward spiral that can be life-threatening if not properly addressed. The statistics paint a grim picture. Diabetic seniors are twice as likely to develop depression, and depressed seniors are 60% more likely to develop diabetes. When both conditions exist together, the health outcomes are devastating. Hospitalization rates increase by 300%, medication adherence drops by 50%, and the risk of serious complications skyrockets. Here's why this deadly combination develops. Depression literally changes your brain chemistry in ways that make blood sugar control nearly impossible. Chronic sadness and hopelessness trigger the release of stress hormones that raise blood glucose levels. At the same time, the fatigue and lack of motivation from depression make it almost impossible to maintain the daily habits necessary for diabetes management. But the connection goes even deeper. High blood sugar causes inflammation throughout your body, including your brain. This inflammation directly affects the production of serotonin and other neurotransmitters that regulate mood. It's a vicious cycle. Depression raises blood sugar, and high blood sugar worsens depression. A groundbreaking study from the University of Washington followed 4,200 diabetic seniors with depression for 5 years. Those who received treatment for both conditions simultaneously had 45% better blood sugar control and 60% improvement in depression symptoms compared to those who treated only one condition. The most effective treatment approach addresses both conditions together. Certain antidepressants, particularly SSRIs like sertraline, not only improve mood but may also have mild blood sugar lowering effects. However, some medications commonly prescribed for depression can actually worsen blood sugar control, so coordination between your diabetes doctor and mental health provider is crucial. Cognitive behavioral therapy has shown remarkable results for diabetic seniors with depression. This type of counseling helps you identify and change negative thought patterns while developing practical strategies for diabetes management. In clinical trials, seniors who received CBT had improvements in both mood and blood sugar control that lasted for years after treatment ended. The lifestyle interventions for depression and diabetes overlap significantly. Regular exercise, consistent sleep schedules, social connection, and stress management techniques improve both conditions simultaneously. Many seniors find that joining diabetes support groups provides both practical management tips and the social connection needed to combat depression.
Here's a truth that could save your life. If you have diabetes, your blood pressure and cholesterol aren't just numbers on a lab report. They're literally determining whether you'll have a heart attack or stroke in the next few years. The combination of diabetes, high blood pressure, and abnormal cholesterol creates what doctors call the deadly triad, a condition that kills more seniors than cancer. The statistics will terrify you.
Diabetic seniors with uncontrolled blood pressure have a 400% higher risk of heart attack and a 600% higher risk of stroke compared to those with well-controlled blood pressure. Add high cholesterol to the mix, and your risk of dying from cardiovascular disease increases by over 1,000%. But here's what most seniors don't understand. The blood pressure and cholesterol targets for diabetic patients are much stricter than for non-diabetics. While a blood pressure of 140/90 might be acceptable for a healthy senior, diabetic seniors need to keep their blood pressure below 130/80 and ideally closer to 120/80. The cholesterol story is even more complex. It's not just about total cholesterol anymore. The ratio of different types of cholesterol matters enormously for diabetic seniors. Your LDL, bad cholesterol, should be below 70 milligrams per deciliter if you have diabetes, not the 100 milligrams per deciliter that's often cited as normal. Your HDL, good cholesterol, should be above 40 milligrams per deciliter for men and 50 milligrams per deciliter for women. A revolutionary study from the American Heart Association followed 8,000 diabetic seniors for 10 years, comparing those who achieved optimal blood pressure and cholesterol targets versus those with acceptable levels. The results were stunning. Those who reached optimal targets had 70% fewer heart attacks, 65% fewer strokes, and lived an average of 8.3 years longer. The treatment approach for diabetic seniors requires what doctors call aggressive risk factor modification. This often means taking multiple medications, an ACE inhibitor or ARB for blood pressure, a statin for cholesterol, and sometimes additional medications for more complete protection. But here's what most seniors don't understand. Some of these medications provide benefits beyond just lowering numbers. ACE inhibitors and ARBs don't just lower blood pressure, they also protect your kidneys from diabetes damage. Certain statins not only lower cholesterol, but also reduce inflammation throughout your body. The lifestyle modifications for blood pressure and cholesterol in diabetic seniors are more intensive than for other conditions. The DASH diet, combined with diabetes-appropriate modifications, can lower blood pressure by 10 to 15 points and improve cholesterol profiles significantly. Regular exercise, even just 30 minutes of walking daily, provides benefits equivalent to some medications.
Your kidneys are dying, and you probably don't even know it. Diabetic kidney disease is called the silent killer, because by the time you notice symptoms, you've already lost 80% of your kidney function. But here's the hope. Caught early and managed properly, diabetic kidney damage can be stopped and sometimes even reversed. The terrifying reality is that 40% of diabetic seniors will develop kidney disease, making it the leading cause of kidney failure in America. Every year, 50,000 Americans start dialysis because of diabetic kidney damage that could have been prevented with proper care. Here's what's happening inside your body right now if your blood sugar isn't perfectly controlled. High glucose levels damage the tiny filters in your kidneys, called nephrons. Once damaged, these filters can't be repaired or replaced. They start leaking protein into your urine, the first sign of kidney damage that most people never notice. The progression is relentless and predictable. First, you develop microalbuminuria, tiny amounts of protein in your urine that can only be detected by special tests. Then comes macroalbuminuria, larger amounts of protein that indicate significant kidney damage. Finally, your kidney function starts declining, leading to kidney failure and the need for dialysis or transplant. But here's the life-saving information. This progression can be stopped at any stage with the right treatment. A landmark study called the Renal Trial followed 1,500 diabetic seniors with kidney disease for 4 years. Those who received aggressive treatment to control blood sugar, blood pressure, and protein in the urine had 60% less kidney function decline compared to standard care. The most important number for kidney protection isn't your blood sugar, it's your blood pressure. Keeping your blood pressure below 130/80 is more important for kidney protection than perfect blood sugar control. ACE inhibitors and ARBs are particularly important because they reduce pressure inside the kidney filters, providing extra protection beyond just lowering blood pressure. The urine protein test, called a microalbumin test, should be done at least once yearly for all diabetic seniors. This simple test can detect kidney damage years before you notice any symptoms. If protein is detected, more frequent monitoring and aggressive treatment can prevent progression to kidney failure. Here's a dietary strategy that has saved thousands of kidneys: moderate protein restriction. While seniors generally need more protein than younger adults, those with early kidney disease benefit from limiting protein to 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. This reduces the workload on damaged kidneys while still providing adequate nutrition.
You could be going blind right now and not know it. Diabetic eye disease is the leading cause of blindness in American seniors. But here's the shocking part. 95% of diabetes-related vision loss is preventable with proper screening and treatment. The statistics will alarm you. After 20 years of diabetes, 80% of patients have some form of diabetic retinopathy, and 25% have severe vision-threatening disease. But unlike other complications, diabetic eye disease is completely silent until it's almost too late to treat effectively. Here's what's happening inside your eyes right now if your blood sugar isn't well controlled. High glucose levels damage the tiny blood vessels in your retina, the light-sensitive tissue at the back of your eye. These damaged vessels start leaking blood and fluid, causing swelling and distortion of your central vision. The progression follows a predictable but devastating pattern. First, you develop background retinopathy, small areas of bleeding and swelling that don't affect vision initially. Then comes proliferative retinopathy. Your eye tries to grow new blood vessels to compensate for the damaged ones, but these new vessels are fragile and can cause massive bleeding that leads to sudden blindness. The most insidious form is diabetic macular edema, swelling in the central part of your retina that causes gradual vision loss. Many seniors attribute this gradual decline to normal aging and don't seek treatment until permanent damage has occurred. But here's the hope. Caught early, diabetic eye disease is highly treatable. Modern treatments, including laser therapy, injectable medications, and surgical techniques, can not only stop progression, but often improve vision significantly. The key is annual dilated eye exams by an ophthalmologist or optometrist experienced in diabetic eye disease. This isn't the same as getting your glasses prescription checked. It requires special photographs of your retina and careful examination of the blood vessels in your eyes. A revolutionary study from the Diabetic Retinopathy Research Network followed 5,000 diabetic seniors for 10 years. Those who had annual eye exams and received prompt treatment when problems were detected had a 90% lower rate of severe vision loss compared to those who only sought eye care when they noticed vision problems. The blood sugar connection to eye disease is direct and dramatic. Every 1% reduction in A1C reduces your risk of developing diabetic eye disease by 35%. But here's what most people don't know. Even if you already have eye disease, better blood sugar control can slow its progression significantly.
Your mouth is a window into your diabetes control, and what's happening with your gums could be sabotaging your blood sugar in ways you never imagined. The connection between dental health and diabetes is so strong that treating gum disease can lower your A1C as much as adding a new diabetes medication. Here's a shocking statistic that will change how you think about dental care. Diabetic seniors with untreated gum disease have blood sugar levels that are 30% higher than those with healthy gums. The inflammation from infected gums literally raises your blood glucose throughout your body. The relationship works both ways and creates a vicious cycle. High blood sugar weakens your immune system and reduces blood flow to your gums, making you more susceptible to gum disease.
At the same time, the chronic infection from gum disease triggers inflammatory responses that make your body resistant to insulin. A landmark study published in the Journal of Periodontology followed 2,400 diabetic seniors for 3 years. Half received intensive periodontal therapy to treat their gum disease, while the other half received standard dental care. The results were astounding. Those who received gum disease treatment had A1C levels that were 0.7% lower on average, equivalent to adding a new diabetes medication. But the benefits went far beyond blood sugar control. Seniors with treated gum disease had 40% fewer cardiovascular events, 25% fewer kidney complications, and significantly better overall health outcomes. The researchers concluded that treating gum disease should be considered an essential part of diabetes management. The signs of gum disease in diabetic seniors are often subtle but serious. Red, swollen, or bleeding gums are obvious warning signs, but many seniors don't realize that chronic bad breath, loose teeth, or changes in how their dentures fit can also indicate serious gum problems. The treatment approach requires coordination between your dentist and diabetes doctor. Professional deep cleaning, called scaling and root planing, removes bacteria and infection from below the gum line. In severe cases, antibiotic therapy may be needed to control infection. Daily oral hygiene becomes even more critical for diabetic seniors. Brushing twice daily with fluoride toothpaste, flossing daily, and using an antibacterial mouthwash can significantly improve both gum health and blood sugar control. Electric toothbrushes are particularly effective for seniors with limited dexterity.
Every diabetic senior needs to know how to recognize and respond to life-threatening blood sugar emergencies. The difference between knowing what to do and panicking could literally mean the difference between life and death, both for you and your loved ones. Severe hypoglycemia, or dangerously low blood sugar, kills more diabetic seniors than any other acute complication. The symptoms can develop rapidly and include confusion, slurred speech, shakiness, sweating, and loss of consciousness. But here's what makes it particularly dangerous for seniors. The symptoms are often mistaken for stroke, heart attack, or dementia. The 15-15 rule could save your life. If your blood sugar is below 70 milligrams per deciliter and you're experiencing symptoms, consume 15 grams of fast-acting carbohydrate, 4 glucose tablets, 1/2 cup of fruit juice, or 1 tablespoon of honey. Wait 15 minutes, then recheck your blood sugar. If it's still below 70, repeat the treatment. But here's the crucial part most seniors don't know. Once your blood sugar returns to normal, you need to eat a snack containing protein and complex carbohydrates to prevent it from dropping again. Peanut butter crackers, cheese and crackers, or half a sandwich work well. The opposite emergency, diabetic ketoacidosis, DKA, is less common in type 2 diabetics, but can be fatal. Warning signs include blood sugar above 250 milligrams per deciliter, ketones in urine, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and fruity-smelling breath. This requires immediate emergency medical care. Call 911, don't try to treat it at home. Every diabetic senior should have an emergency kit that includes glucose tablets or gel, a current list of medications, emergency contact information, and a medical alert bracelet or necklace. Keep supplies in your car, purse, and multiple locations at home. Family members and caregivers need training too. They should know how to recognize emergency symptoms, how to use a glucagon injection kit if prescribed, and when to call for emergency help. Many seniors' lives have been saved by family members who knew what to do during a crisis. The sick day management rules are particularly important for seniors who are more susceptible to infections and illness. Never stop taking diabetes medications when you're sick, even if you're not eating well. Check blood sugar more frequently, stay hydrated, and contact your doctor if blood sugar remains elevated or if you develop ketones.
The future of diabetes care for seniors is brighter than ever before, with breakthrough technologies and treatments that can help you not just manage your condition, but thrive with diabetes for decades to come. But success requires planning, preparation, and understanding what's on the horizon. Continuous glucose monitoring technology is revolutionizing diabetes care for seniors. These small sensors, worn on your arm or abdomen, provide real-time blood sugar readings without finger pricks. For seniors who struggle with traditional blood sugar testing due to vision problems or arthritis, CGMs can be life-changing. The data from CGMs reveals patterns that traditional fingerstick testing misses completely. You can see how your blood sugar responds to different foods, stress levels, sleep patterns, and activities. This information allows for precise adjustments to medication, diet, and lifestyle that were impossible before. Smart insulin pens are another breakthrough that's particularly beneficial for seniors. These devices track your insulin doses, remind you when injections are due, and can even share information with your healthcare team. For seniors managing multiple medications or dealing with memory issues, this technology provides crucial safety and effectiveness improvements. Artificial pancreas systems represent the ultimate goal of diabetes technology. These systems combine continuous glucose monitoring with automated insulin delivery, essentially creating a closed-loop system that manages blood sugar automatically. While currently more common for type 1 diabetes, versions for type 2 diabetics are in development. But technology is only part of the future. The care model for diabetic seniors is also evolving. Comprehensive diabetes care now includes not just blood sugar management, but coordination with specialists for eye care, foot care, kidney protection, and mental health support. Telemedicine has become particularly valuable for diabetic seniors, especially those with mobility issues or transportation challenges. Regular video consultations with your diabetes team, remote monitoring of your blood sugar data, and digital education programs can provide excellent care without the burden of frequent office visits. The most important aspect of future planning is building a strong healthcare team and support system. This should include your primary care doctor, an endocrinologist if needed, a certified diabetes educator, and specialists for eye, foot, and kidney care as appropriate.
Your role in this team is crucial. You need to be an informed, engaged partner in your care. This means understanding your condition, monitoring your numbers, taking medications as prescribed, and communicating openly with your healthcare providers about challenges you're facing. The goal isn't just to manage diabetes, it's to live well with diabetes. With proper care, most diabetic seniors can maintain their independence, enjoy active lifestyles, and avoid serious complications. The key is starting with good habits now and staying committed to your health for the long term. Remember, diabetes doesn't have to define your golden years. With the right knowledge, tools, and support, you can manage this condition successfully and continue to enjoy all the things that make life meaningful. Time with family, pursuing hobbies, traveling, and staying active in your community. The future for diabetic seniors has never been more promising. New medications provide better blood sugar control with fewer side effects. Advanced monitoring technology gives you unprecedented insight into your condition. And comprehensive care approaches address not just diabetes, but your overall health and well-being. The most important step you can take right now is to commit to being an active participant in your diabetes care. Ask questions, learn about your condition, monitor your numbers, and work closely with your healthcare team. Your future self will thank you for the effort you put in today. Take control of your diabetes, and diabetes won't control you. The tools, knowledge, and support are available. Now it's up to you to use them to create the healthy, vibrant future you deserve.
If this video helped you understand the truth about diabetes management for seniors, please hit that like button. Subscribe for more life-saving health content and turn on notifications so you never miss crucial information that could change your life. Share this with someone who needs to see it. Your action today could literally save a life tomorrow.